out by saying hello to everybody. It's all good, always good to see your beautiful faces. I wish that we could talk more. And I'm introducing tonight Janine. She was born in New York City. She did not receive formal training in photography, but photographs were a major part of her growing up. She grew up during what she thinks was one of the best times to be living, even with its turbulence. Her family, like many during that time, always took pictures. Her parents always had photographs of family, past and present, and she was always intrigued. She used to love looking at the old pictures of her family because they told her of a time before hers. Her great uncle had one of the first Polaroid land cameras, and it was on. She enjoyed looking at Ebony magazine, Jet magazine, Life, National Geographic, and Look magazines. Gordon Parks and Juanita Sleet Jr. told the story of the nation and cities. James Van Der Zee showed Harlem Life, and Look, Life, and Nat Geo showed her the world. Her photography is evolving. She started out wanting to take portraits because she felt she could make people feel comfortable in front of the lens. But as she studied and read, she wanted her photos to tell a story like the ones that you used to read in the magazines. Tell the stories you don't normally hear. She wanted her work to reflect emotion, mood, and to make you think. And with that said, Janine, I just want to tell you, we have a lot in common. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say tonight. Thank you for joining us. Could y'all say hi?
Thank you for having me. And at least I don't have to worry about going out to my car later because you didn't like what I said. So we used to always tell that to the judges. So we'll see you in the parking lot or something. But yeah, this is I enjoy doing this and looking at pictures, and I'm always studying. You know, there's a proverb that says, as soon as you say I know, the learning stops. And, you know, I like history and photography. So I do a little bit of everything. I used to be a teacher. I retired from teaching. So that's what that was my profession.
Me too.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so Jenna, Janine, it's all in there.
I'm telling you, girl, we missed each other. We need to get together.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I guess we'll start. We have two assigned topics tonight. They are, I'll add it up here. They are time of year. That's our assigned topic number one. It's an image that shows us the time of year that is special to you. And our second assigned topic is the food deep dive. It's a macro image using only food. And we have some interesting entries. So to get on with the show here, let me just share my screen.
Sean, are you going to go through, run through all of the pictures first?
Yeah, we'll start with the ones that didn't place, and then we get the honorable mentions, and then we do the winners, leading up to the first place.
So you want me to comment as I see them?
Yeah, all the images as you see them. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, you read my screen here. Hold on. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sign topic number one. We have 24 entries. We have 4 places and 4 honorable mentions. Our first image, When the Roses Bloom, Linda Tomasulo.
Okay, this was, but I kind of had my numbers down, When the Roses Bloom.
Yeah, they're not going to be in the order that which they
okay.
Unfortunately.
All right, because you know what, I took notes. I took notes because I wanted to make sure, but I can remember some of this. This was, I try to keep with the topic of the time of year and what made that topic special to people. And this picture, I like the background. It's a good shallow depth of field. I thought it was a little heavy though on the right-hand bottom with the leaves, with the green leaves. And I think and on my computer, and I looked at this on different computers, I believe those are drops of water, but in some parts it looks like it could be like it was bleached out or something. Like the drops don't look like drops, they look like bleach. But I don't know, this was called When the Roses Bloom. I got the impression more so from this that, you know, the roses had bloomed and was starting to die, but I like the picture. But I just thought that it was heavy on the lower right-hand corner. Okay.
Okay, next up is Summer Fun for Some, Marguerite Hill.
Okay, see, this one is coming across more as a panoramic. I like this. What I saw was a little bit shorter. It was cut off a little bit more on the left-hand side, and I think I wanted to see more. But I like this picture. I would have loved to see their faces a little bit more, but I do see, you know, that they're having a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to be on a jet ski. I do like the picture, but I wanted to see more. It seems to be a little bit, a little contrasty and soft at the same time, because the picture of the girls on the jet ski is, you know, it's not sharp. The water's more sharper, but I do like I said, I'm seeing more now of this tail behind the jet ski. I didn't get that when I was looking at it, what was sent to me. Okay.
Next up is The Cones of Summer, Rich Schreibstein.
Okay, yeah, this was towards the end. I apologize, because I tried to make sure that I took notes on the pictures, but I didn't write down the names. I just wrote down the numbers. So I apologize for that. Okay, I thought it was a good image. Would like to have seen more ice cream, if that's possible. There definitely reminds me of a time when I would go out to Long Island with my cousins, and you know, we had to walk somewhere to get the ice cream. The only thing that kind of, I love black and white, which is timeless to me. The only thing is the hydrant. I don't know if this was somebody you knew, that the photographer knew who they were photographing, or they were just looking at these young children, you know, walking along the road or the street with some ice cream. But that hydrant is kind of, I would have either waited for them to pass it, or if these were people that I knew, I would try to either catch them before they got to the hydrant or after. But it's interesting, the tall young lady is looking directly at you. I don't know whether or not she didn't want a picture taken, but I mean, that eye contact is really good. Everybody else is into the ice cream. And it looks like she's almost finished with hers. So it was a good image, and I like the black and white. A little flat. I don't know if I would make it a little bit sharper, but and you have to watch with the little girl in the front. There's like I'm sorry. Can you see my points, my cursor?
No, it's not showing up.
Let me go to annotation.
I don't know that word either.
I don't have that. But right up above her head, the little girl in the front, first of all, it looks like her arm is on the hydrant, and I know it's not, but it looks like she could be leaning on it. But right above her head, there's a stick or a pole or something that seems to come straight out the top of her head. And, you know, we have to be careful with that. Sometimes we just have to move maybe a little bit more to the right or a little bit more to the left. I think this was just a question of timing here.
You might have annotation now. You want to check? Nope, not seeing it.
No, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can never get that to work.
Okay, I'll just try to be wait a minute, unless it's at the bottom, because I see breakout rooms and all of that.
Right. Next up is Sunflower Sunrise, Elena Kesey.
Yeah, this is a nice picture. You could tell all great depth of field. You could tell all of these sunflowers are facing east, because it says sunrise, so they're all facing east. The only thing is that there's a slope in this image. It's not straight, and that's something that's easily correctable in Lightroom with transform and probably capture one and on one. But it's like it's sloping down from left to right. It's just kind of going down. The other thing is that I would maybe crop out some of the sky. I think I would maybe crop out, but you know, it's a nice picture. And one of the things that I saw in a lot of the photos that I looked at, y'all get good fog in the morning, very good fog. But I think I would crop it out, take out most of that sky, except for where you start to see that pinkish, orangey color in the morning above the treetops. I would, you know, cut a little bit above the treetops with that. Okay.
Okay. Next up is Foggy Fall Fun. Jenna Kaywood.
Yeah, this was another one. This was one I liked as well. I liked the muted tones with it. I wasn't sure if it was real fog or Photoshop fog, only because there's some color. If you know, there's color in the image. There's some color in there. It's kind of purplish, reddish, and I don't know whether or not that's just the color of the trees coming through, but it looks, that kind of told me that, I don't know, because when I look at the fog or to the left of the image, it's not as red, but this looks a little bit red. So I don't know what I'm picking up here in terms of the reflection, or if that was a man-made, you know, fog or not. I like the clouds. It's a nice mood. I think it's a good picture. And I was wondering if it was shot on a slow shutter speed. It could maybe go even a little bit slower, but I like this picture a lot. This was one that I definitely considered.
Next up is Fall Fantasy. Jenna Kaywood.
Okay. This image I liked as well, but I found, again, I like that fog. I can't go anywhere around here and get that fog like y'all get in your pictures. The sky is nice. I could see it's probably fall. The only thing is that, again, I might have stepped a little bit. The tree leaves on the left are distracting, and somewhat at the bottom too. But more so for me, the trees at the top, the branches at the top, because it obstructs the view. And it seems like that's what's really in focus, as opposed to that beautiful scenery out, you know, below it. And I think I would either, you know, you just can't always clone everything out. You just can't. So I would think I would try to move differently and to get the image that, you know, because we see things, you know, we see more with our eyes, and our eyes are not focusing on those leaves or those branches. Our eyes are focusing on that part in the center and with the mountains and with the fog, and that's what you see. But the branches on the right-hand side really kind of obstruct what you want to see, and a little bit on the left as well, a little bit on the left. So I think that's just a question, just moving differently. But I like the muted tones of this also.
Okay, next up is Catching a Ride. Claudia Jakubowski.
Yeah, I like the black background of this picture. Most of the time when we judge, we don't see the titles. And so I try to look at the image to tell the story for me without the title. And it wasn't until I did see Catching a Ride that I saw the second leaf up there. And I said, oh, okay, that's good. But what did I say about this one? I like the colors in it. I like the black background. But the leaf, I don't, you know, I would hate to say if you could have found another leaf, you know, I guess it was just floating by. But and of course, once the fall comes, leaves are starting to decay and things like that. But maybe if there was just a little, this was just one of those things. the leaf on top riding on the other leaf. It's sometimes I didn't see it at first when I looked at it. And it's too close in color for me. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't choose it. But the tone, the initial colors of the leaves are very, very good on this. So I like it. Mhm.
Okay, next up is Snow and Logs, Ray Hendrickson.
Okay. This one, it's another good image. You know, again, we're talking about the time of year that we like. And I lived in Massachusetts, so, you know, I was used to the cold weather. And, you know, whether you like it or not, you're going to start liking it. So, but this wasn't giving me enough story. I look for stories. And, you know, I like the fact that the snow is nice and white and doesn't have a color cast or anything to it, but it just wasn't giving me enough story. And again, maybe I'm thinking about, I know it's almost like a panoramic, maybe focusing in on, you know, the logs in kind of in the middle where you have the most, and just, you know, really crop in and go in on that, you know, but I'd like to see more story with this.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up is Frozen Lake, Ray Hendrickson.
Okay, another one. Yeah, I like the clouds. I think it's I like the clouds on that. I don't like this part of it. And you know, again, just moving a little bit, bringing up that color in the trees more and lightening the shadow, you know, outside. I'm pointing towards the lake, but you know, the lake where it's real dark there, it might have been nice to kind of lighten that up a little bit and maybe sharpen that and cut out some of the foreground. Cut out some of the foreground, but it looks like, you know, I don't know if people ice skate, if this lake is frozen enough for people to ice skate on, but I know that's always fun to do, to ice skate on a frozen lake, as long as if you know it's going to stay frozen. It looks like it could have been a storm, maybe it just snowed, I don't know. But the clouds, I like the structure in the clouds. I think I'd like to see more structure in the trees. And again, I wanted to know more of a story with this photograph.
All right, next up is Fall in the Pine Bush, Sean Sullivan.
This looks like this was taken with a drone,
Yes.
which is really nice. But, and there was another picture, I think was a drone picture. In the upper, and the colors are nice. And I see there's a certain softness to it. And there's good color in it, except for when you get, and it's the depth of field on this is like, it goes way out. I can see the town in the background, which is really nice. But I thought in some parts it was oversaturated, particularly in the right-hand corner side of the image. And I'm not going to even say, you know, to crop it, because to crop it, let me see something. You missed some good details in it. Sorry. Cropping it, you miss some good details. I like the foreground. You know, it's like a good beginning, a middle, and end. I wondered about in that center where it's bare, but I mean, it's just, you know, I think my biggest problem with this was parts of it seem oversaturated, but otherwise it's a great image. It's a great image.
Next up is Snow Lace, Alina Casey.
This was a good one too. I looked at this one. I think I might have wanted more lace, you know, but you can't tell Snow what to do. But when I saw the title, this was a image that the title helped me to appreciate this even more. But I don't see enough lacing, you know. Once I saw it, I said, oh, okay, that's cool. But again, it's good. You know, the color of the snow is really good. It's a good white. You can see that it's been melted, but I think you know, since it's, the photographer saw it as being like lace of some sort, I think I would have liked to see more of the lacing with this. But I can see the story that you're trying to tell with this. Definitely can see that.
Okay, next up is Nighttime Church at Christmas, Kim Koza.
Yeah, I like the sky in this. I like that best. I thought some of the lighting in the front. This is again another image because I can see the icicles on the church. I think the lights in the front are blown out. And I was trying to see if there was a light on the tree to the left, just left of the church. And I couldn't tell about the light on the tree to the right of the church and on the left. Again, this would be a situation where I would try to reposition myself. The stars, you know, with it being like Christmas, right time, you know, right at Christmas. And, you know, you have those stars in the sky. I was wondering also if this might be a composition, you know, because there's so much, let's say, light pollution, how you can see the stars so clearly. But I think I would have gotten in closer on the church. I just would have focused on the church since that was your subject, you know, but I think the bushes are a little bit blown out. But so I just would have gone up closer to the church and maybe try to take that picture and don't worry about the trees. Don't worry, you know, just get the church and you could get the steeple and part of the night sky. Good image though, but it's, you know, I forgot the photographer's name. He said,
Kim
you know,
Koza.
get in close enough, get in closer. If you can get in closer, get in closer.
Okay,
You know, fill that
next up is-
frame because you really want to tell the story of that church at Christmas.
Okay, next up is Rites of Spring, Thomas Whitmore.
This image had, I think, a couple of stories because you have Lickety Split, which I guess is a very popular ice cream place. And then I saw the motorcycle and I didn't know, first when I saw the motorcycle, I was wondering if it was part of a parade or something that might've been coming down the street. I think I would have just focused, and I know I think the photographer, I'm not gonna try and say what you were trying to show. I think you were trying to show though that this, you know, this is, now it's spring, you know, everybody's gonna come out to get that custard or that ice cream or whatever. And I think I would have gotten closer again to Lickety Split where you could still see the sign and focus on the people that were buying the ice cream as opposed to the line. Because I think you have enough people up there that you could show that this is where people are coming right now. That's the rite of spring to get this ice cream when these stores open. So after winter. So and the color, it could use a little bit more color in it. But other than that, I think it has a couple of stories in it. One being the motorcyclist. I don't know if there were other motorcyclists or not, but that's, you know, and maybe that's what you wanted to show was that, you know, now it's getting warmer, people have their motorcycles out and they're riding. Okay.
Next up is Spring Planting, Paula Keefe.
This was another picture that I had considered. I like it, but it has a color cast to it. It's like it's greenish. I like that it's taken from the back. I like the shadows. You can see the shadows of the wheels and everything on the cart. You see the hoofs of the horse, but it's over, I think it's a little bit overexposed, and the flowers are not in focus. They're not sharp. They're not sharp. And it has like a color cast of almost like yellow. So I believe the white balance is off a little bit with this. But I like the subject matter a lot. And I'll assume that you were probably in a car following this cart, this gentleman in his cart with the horse. But the flowers are just not, they're not sharp enough, and the color's a little bit off with this.
Okay.
But it's a
Next up.
good subject matter. I would try and do it again.
Next up is Santa, Joe Catronio.
Okay. Well done picture. But it's, the color's good. I like the texture in the background and everything, but it's a picture of someone else's artwork or of a statue or something like that. And that was my, it's showing Christmas, I know, but it just wasn't enough to show me what makes this time so special to the photographer. But did you capture the statue or the carving well? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. The colors on, it's sharp, but it just, it's just a picture of something that somebody else made. Okay.
Next up is Spring Has Sprung, Larry Hill.
Okay, Larry, I had, I'm not sure what the subject is here. What are you trying to show with this image in terms of being a favorite time of the year? I don't know if you fish as well. It's showing spring, so there's a lot of green, which is good. But I need to focus on something, and I'm not sure what I'm focusing on because there's a lot of different things going on here. And I see some reflection in the pond in the middle, and that looks kind of good, but I would need to have a little bit more information. I don't think there's enough information here for me because there's no colors, just green. And I'm not sure when things start to bloom in Schenectady or in that area. But I think I'd like to see a little bit more with this image for information.
Okay. Honorable mentions. First up, Happy New Year 2021, Dan Steen.
Yeah, I like this one. Looked like you threw the olives in there, Dan. And I think maybe you shot it on a slow shutter speed, which was nice because you kind of blurred the water, slowed down the splash, which was good. I like your ornaments in the bottom right-hand corner. You have the cup to measure the martini, the olives. Could be a little bit sharper, but one thing that distracted me with this, because I like the red background, was I would smooth that material out a little bit more in the back. That, I would do that. But you have the good colors. You have that green of the olives with that red, and they complement each other. And then you have in the bottom, you have the bells with the sprigs from a Christmas tree or, just some evergreen type of ornament. And it's New Year's, which is always a good time. At least I know a lot of people say, wow, we're finally through with 2020. Let's move on. So that was a time to celebrate. And I guess you just threw those olives in there. So I like that. And I like how you try to capture that.
Okay, next honorable mention, The Wonder of Winter, Linda Tomasulo.
This picture I liked a lot too. I like this forest. It shows layers, it shows vastness. The whites are white with the snow. And you see layers of the, you can see, I guess that's a hill or something, but you could kind of see there's that layer, then it goes up again. And then in the background, it goes up. It's good depth of field. It shows scale. And I like the fact that you just have just that little, looks almost like a black and white picture. And then you have that pop of color with the jacket and the hoodie that the person, or the hat that the person has on. And there's a little bit of green, I guess, from the evergreen trees in there. But it's a nice picture, and the person's running from, from the right to the left, and, nobody's out there. And yeah, you got to say, I could see that was really a beautiful day to be out. Cold, but I'm sure very beautiful to be out. And nice image.
Okay, our next honorable mention, backyard 4th of July, Rich Schreibstein.
I like this. I like the symmetry of the sparkles. And I can see there's people sitting in the background, but that doesn't bother me. And sometimes when we think of 4th of July, we always want it to be in color. I'm a black and white person, or a monochrome person, and I like this. You're showing, at first I thought it was steel wool, like he was twirling steel wool or did something with steel wool, but I think these are sparkles. And it looks like a good time. It looks like a good time. That's the one thing people want to do is, have fireworks or something. And, with COVID and everything, a lot of people did what they could do in their backyard. And you could see the actual, the sparkles split up, or the, whatever it is, the sparkles split up. You could see that. You see his face, he's doing something. And then you have a starburst on top of it. So I like this a lot. This is a nice image.
Okay, our last honorable mention is Winding Stream, Sean Sullivan.
Okay. I guess I gotta be nice now, Sean, right? I like
Be
this.
brutal, be brutal.
No, this is good. That stream just goes, it leads you all up in through the image, up into those trees, and the colors are good. Is this a drone picture?
Yes,
Okay. Did you take the other drone picture?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. I just would have cropped out that top. You don't need the sky. You don't need the sky. But just the fact that, and I wouldn't crop it any other way, but I just like the way you have that meandering stream just going up and through, and it takes you all through the image. So that's pretty cool. And the colors, this year we had a good fall in terms of colors in this area, but the few years before that, our fall we didn't have any fall at all. So when I get to see pictures with good color, I like that. Very nice color on this.
Interesting tidbit about this image. About 10 seconds after I took it, a helicopter came flying up behind me, and I had to nosedive it for the ground.
Oh, okay. So you got it just in the nick of time.
Got it just in the nick of time.
Yeah, I like it. And what I'm like, I don't think we've had people in my group, if I can just say, I know some people have drones, but they haven't submitted drone pictures. And I wish they would, because it's a nice story. It gives us just a whole nother perspective on thing, and another way of looking at life. Okay, so nice image.
Okay, thank you. Next up are our winners. In 4th place, Blowing in the Wind, Paula Keefe.
I like this. First of all, I like the red barn. I'm a red person. And if you could see my walls in my living room, I have 4 different reds on each wall, but they blend together from one palette. And so I like the red. And with the clothes, you just think about it, spring, they're blowing, you could tell the clothes are blowing, and that's nice. I just like that. Couple things. I think there were some wires, maybe some wires that were up at the top that looked like some of them were taken out, but not all of them. And so that try to work on taking that out. And also there's some little branches on the opposite side near those 4 pieces at the top of the I don't know, call them chimneys, but at the top of that barn, there's some branches at the very top. There's one between the 1st and 2nd, and the 2nd and 3rd. I would try to take those out. And maybe just crop in a little bit more at the bottom. This is a great picture. I remember being in upstate New York and in the dairy country. And, this is just bringing back that time of summer where, you hung your clothes up outside and, let that sun really get to your clothes and dry it and just blowing in the wind and things like that. So this picture, the colors what popped for me really on this one. I like this a lot.
Okay. In third place, Visions of Christmas Past, Dan Steen.
Dan, this reminded me when I was growing up, and I'm probably dating myself, but these were my favorite ornaments on the tree because I used to like to see the water in these ornaments bubble up when you turned on the lights. And so for me, it triggered an immediate memory of a good time. When my family and I would decorate the trees and I would just sit and watch and wait for these to heat up so that the water would start bubbling. One suggestion, and I like that it's close in, it's cropped in close. The colors are good. I just wish that on the bottom of the green, the light to the left, when you go down, you follow that wire, I see the wire with the tag and there's a pin there. I would try and burn that because that's just a slight, the red, even though you have red in the picture, I know that that's a tag. And then I see the pin from PIN to, I guess, to hold the branch or something. But I would try to dodge that out. I wouldn't clone it because, at this point it gets messy. But just try to burn that a little bit so it's not so bright. But this one was definitely a time that's special when you do a Christmas tree. Very well done.
Okay, second place, Galway Fall Trees, Kim Koza.
Again, the color. I like the color. It's the composition is good. It's a V shape of leading lines. You have that tree right there in the front, and it's not exactly smack dab in the middle. And I can look all the way down to the right, and I can look all the way down to the left. I see the leaves on the bottom, and then which are nicely done. I can see a little bit into the meadow. And the coloring of the trees is very nice. Very well done.
Okay, in first place, Winter's Playground, Claudia Jakubowski.
This picture, what got me on this picture was the green, the snow course, and just the way this structure, these swings are set up and the angle that you took it from, it just leads me all through the picture. There's some symmetry there. You get to see everything that's in there. Again, this is a picture that looks like it was a black and white and you recolored it, but no. It's just, I guess it was just that bright. I could see the green in the evergreens and everything. Again, the tones of the snow is very well done. It's a nice picture. And like I said, that green, the color to me popped first. I think the lighting is good. I think the composition is good. The texture is good because I could see this, the texture on the branches and things like that. I thought this was very well done. And I like the way it was, the angle that you took it at, because that's always important as well.
Congratulations to all our winners.
Yes.
And we're going to go on to our assigned topic 2 now, which is food deep dive.
Does anybody have any questions, or you want to wait to the end, or?
Well, we usually wait to the end for the.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see if I can get my notes now.
Sure. While you're doing that, we have 20 entries.
A little bit better. Okay.
And we have 3 places and 3 honorable mentions. And first up is steak dinner, Ray Hendrickson. Oh, that makes me hungry.
Yeah. Well, I'm vegan, but you know what? With food, I'm vegan. But if somebody can make you want to eat something that you don't eat, just by the picture, that's a good picture. This one, I wish it had been, I think you have good subject matter, but it's too much going on in the background. I like the fact that you use a cutting board to put the steak on. I might have sprinkled some salt on the cutting board or something. This was a question of staging for me. I think it could have been staged a little bit different. You're close up on that steak. The wine, I might have had the bottle of wine and maybe a wine glass with some of the wine in it. And that would have been part of it. And I would have made what table you're using, I might have put a cloth or something there, some kind of material. It's distracting on the left, on the far left. You have the salad, you have the sea salt, you have this, I guess that's a pepper shaker, and I don't know if that's beer, but with the sea salt, the beer, and the other thing is, it's a little, that's distracting. I would almost change that. But this one has, I would play with it. By the way, I was, I don't know if people are interested in shooting food, but this book by Lou Manna is on digital food photography. I'm sorry, but it's called Digital Food Photography, and it's by Lou Manna. And he gives a lot of suggestions about photographing food and what you need to do and how to kind of set it up. Okay, this one has, I would play with this. I know the steak is gone, but try it again.
Our next image is avocado toast is the bomb. Sean Sullivan.
Okay, Sean, don't be mad.
Yeah, I know.
Sean, you have that red placemat there.
Yep.
Right, you have good complementary colors there. I like the subject of this avocado toast, but I think the paper plate took away from it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not I would have just either put it on a plate that complemented the colors, or maybe just put it on that placemat, because all those colors go together, all those colors, and then you stick in the blue and white plate. But I think and I like you kind of have it on an angle, which is good. So, well, it appears to me on an angle, but I like it. I like the way you prepared it, and it looks good.
Yeah, I'll try it again when she makes me avocado toast.
Say that again.
I'll try it again next time she makes me avocado toast.
Yeah, just and smear it a little bit more on that right bread too. A little bit more avocado. But I thought it was good. I just the paper plate took away from me on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I like the subject and I like the colors. You got the colors there.
Okay, next up is raspberries. Ray Hendrickson.
This was a good image. You didn't need 4 crates. The color, I would have picked the crate that had the best color and the best raspberries, and just shoot right dead in the middle of it. Forget everything else that's around. Just make it simple. The thing about food photography is that, sometimes they're just showing you something on a spoon or just some little piece of something. I kind of like the raspberries in the top right-hand corner. So that would have been the one that I focused on, and just shoot in the middle. You didn't need all the raspberries. I think it's a good subject matter. I think it's a very good subject matter. And the only other thing I would have done was maybe try to take out the little stems or something in there. That I would try to clone out. But I would just, shoot either one of those crates in the middle and don't worry about everything else. And I just would leave it like that. But this was a good image, though. I like this.
Okay. Next up is blueberries. Kim Koza.
Okay. I like seeing the different color blueberries. So I can tell they're very fresh. This one I would try to, it's almost too much information. You know, it was macro. I would try to crop in even more. The leaf on the left is distracting. And I wouldn't have that in there. Somehow or another, I would try to turn this picture. This may have been the way you took it, but turn it. Look at it in different orientations. Where maybe, you know, if you saw the leaf on the bottom, you'll be able to better crop it out of the image. Or so you have it horizontally. There's also some dead space in here that doesn't add to it. And that's, you know, that's why if you could just play with the picture a little bit more. And again, you know, just move around, move your camera around, move yourself around, and just see how you, and then once you get that picture, keep turning it, rotate it, transform it, see what you can do differently. But on the left, on the right hand side, there's that space in there. That was a little troubling to me, and the leaf on the left was a little bit troubling for me.
Okay, next up is Onion, Kim Koza.
Another good image. It's not balanced. It's not balanced. There's more on the right side of the onion than on the left. I think it's a good textured image, but even with the texture in terms of the structure of the onion, but although I'd like to see a little bit more texture in the center of the onion, but at the top right hand, you have a lot more brown than you do on the left. So it's a little bit, the right is more weighted than the left. And this is a, you know, I keep saying crop, crop, crop. Instead of crop, open that up a little bit more so that we see more what's on the left and more of this what's on the right. And I think that would really help that image, but it's a good image. I looked at this one. I like the fact that it's kind of a surreal picture of this onion. So I don't know how much you might have taken out, Kim, to get it to this, but I would widen, you know, if you have more picture, open it up more and then see what you can do and work with that brown texturizing that style that you have and try to make that even on both sides.
Okay, next up is Cute Buns, Jenna Kaywood.
Jenna, I like this. I like, you know, it was coming off, maybe it was the resolution, but some of it was looking posterized to me on there, especially in the reflection. It was looking a little posterized. Is that Jack Daniels in milk or? And it's dark, and I don't have a problem with dark. You know, sometimes when I do black and white, it can be on the dark side. But it looks like is that chocolate? I'm not sure if that's chocolate. Now I'm seeing color in it that I wasn't seeing before, but it just looked a little polarizing for me, but I like the image itself. I think it's a good, it's almost like a good commercial image. And I like the reflection in it, except for it looked very polarized to me, like sketchy, if I'm saying that correctly. But otherwise, I think it's a great image.
I think they're ho-hos.
Ho-hos, yeah, okay.
Next up is Take a Rain Chalk, Jenna Kaywood.
I need to ask you how you did this. I like this, but I did make a comment on this one. Yeah, I think since it's food, I'd like to see more of the, I think those are M&Ms or Skittles, but I like the technique that you use. It seems almost like I'm more focused on the tab. Wow. That takes me back to, with the tab, glass. And I don't see this really being macro. One of the things was that it said, create a macro image using only food. So my focus is more so these M&Ms or this candy going into this glass, as opposed to the real food is the candy. So I think do I like the image? Yes, yes. And I like the technique that you use to get it.
Okay, next up is mushroom, Paula Keefe.
Okay. Okay, the mushroom, it's definitely a macro image, it's close up image, but it's too many things going on in the image. I think this would work as a black and white. And maybe I would want to see more of what's underneath the mushroom, as opposed to just what's on the top. And again, crop in, get closer. But there's a lot of different things going on in here. And I don't think the color's working. The lighting is fine. The lighting is real good, but I think just some work with the composition and the shapes. What am I looking at? Because these mushrooms have all different shapes. In this picture, they have a lot of different shapes. And I want to know what do you want me to focus on? What story do you want me to see with these mushrooms? Okay.
Next up is sparkling grape, Elena Kesey.
This is definitely a macro image. I was just I like the definition of the stem itself. I don't know whether or not this is just a cross section of a grape, whether or not this was a grape that was in some seltzer water and taken out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of if it was a grape, and this, I'm looking at a cross section of it. And that's what it looks like in the inside after, but I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of the rim. I think it's a red grape. And I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of the rim of the color of the red of the grape to show the structure of it. I like the background though. So it's I'll have to ask you to explain that to me when the time comes.
Okay, next up is turnip, Marguerite Hill.
Okay, I remember this one. And I like turnips too. This is, I would have, I don't know, I think I would have played with this turnip a little bit, maybe cut it. And I'd like to see more of the turnip. I'm not seeing enough light. It's kind of dark on the front under the green, and the greens are, some of the, where it's real focus is on the turnip leaves to the right. The turnip leaves that are right in front of me, that's closest to the turnip itself, it's really kind of soft. This was one that I think to maybe play with it and try doing this and taking this picture in at different angles, and that and maybe even cutting it. This underneath there, it's a little bit too dark for me to see. And I might want to see the other part of the turnip as well, maybe more of a profile of the turnip.
Okay, next up is studying cabbage, Claudia Jakubowski.
The colors in this is real good. Oh, real good, excuse me, really good. But I think one of the comments that I had written down was this was that I would want to see, it looks like just a small part of the cabbage was cut off. I think if you kept cutting off a little bit more, where you have more of the white part of the cabbage showing, and I think, you know, with purple cabbage, it gets more interesting sometimes the more you cut into it. And I think I would have liked to see more of that. I think it has good texture. I like the swirls around, the little swirls and things. It's funny because it almost looks like it could be a brain, you know, with all the patterns, the twirls and squirrels and swirls and everything in it. And it looks like it has a face. If you look in the middle, it looks like a face on the side, on the middle, on the right-hand side. It looks like it almost has a face. I would cut into the cabbage a little bit more because I think the cabbage gets more interesting as you go further in, and you'll get more interesting patterns, but a good image though, and it's macro, so I like it.
Okay, next up is granola, Marguerite Hill.
I like that it's tilted. It looks like the bowl is tilted and it's on an angle, and that's always, that sometimes adds a lot more interest to a picture. You know, especially a food picture, if it's slightly on a tilt. I like that not everything is dead centered. But again, I would leave the bowl out of it and go straight in the middle and take that picture right there in the middle. And because I think it's some raisins in there, okay, it's granola, and there's some other things in there. And maybe add, I don't know, maybe add something else that maybe has a little red or something, because I see the green, you have the browns, you know, there's nuts in there. I would take out the bowl. You didn't need the bowl. Just go smack dab in the middle, and maybe even just try cropping it and see what happens. Okay, and it could be a little bit sharper, but it's a good image though. I think this image has a lot of possibilities. So don't, you know.
Okay, next up is a lot of frittata, Sean Sullivan. Yes, it's oversaturated.
Yes, but yes, I like this. But you know what I like on this one? I like the pot. I like the what you have the pot on, which I think is some wood, you know, but the colors bother me with the saturation. And I like the fact that you didn't put the whole pot, you didn't have the whole pot there. You know, you just showed a sample. I get a back, you know, a little piece of what's going on under the pot. I think it's the saturation on this. But I like the angle that it was taken on. I really do. I like the way you have, you know, you didn't feel that you needed to show the whole pot, which is good. And I think that's what really, I don't mind the saturation in the pot, because you kind of think, okay, well, that's the way the pot is made. But the food itself is, you know, you want it to be appetizing, you know, for people to eat.
Well, it was, but.
Okay, you know, I always say I'm not a good person. I can cook, but I'm not one to make it look pretty on the plate all the time. But will it taste good? Yes.
Next up is fish and chips, Thomas Whitmore.
Yeah, this was good. I don't know, Thomas. I think you took a bite and put it down, and I think it would have been better if you cut the fish, had the bread. But you know what? You does it look good? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'd like to see more chips. Maybe even filling the chips around the fish to the left of the fish. Well, really the right of the fish, on the other side of the bread where you have the pickle. It's nice and crispy, it's sharp. The French fries look good. That's the only part I would probably eat in the pickle right now. But yeah, it looks, I think it's too, and then you're missing part of the skin. So I don't know whether or not you would eat it and then put it down and say, oh, let me take a picture of this. But this one has a lot of possibility. It's interesting. It looks tasty.
Okay. Honorable mentions. First up, Egg Trio, Linda Tomasulo.
Yeah, I like this. You can actually see the texture of the eggs in this image. Good black and white, good tones. You know, you have the black in there, you have the grays in there, different shades of gray. Very nicely done. I did wonder about the lighting piece on it, you know, where the light was coming from, but I'll ask you about that later. But I like the reflection. I like the fact that you, because it was all this black and you had this white, that you put that stroke bar around it. So this is a good image, very good image. And again, I like the fact that I can see the texture in these eggs.
Okay, next honorable mention is Cookies, Joe Catronio.
Good color on this. Cookies aren't cracked, you know, a great reflection with these cookies. And I like that background that you use because it complements the color of the cookies. Very well done. And it's simple. You know, that's the main thing with when you're shooting food too, is to keep it as simple as possible. You know, there's nothing obstructing this picture at all. You know, I wish they were chocolate Oreos, but okay. But that's just a personal preference. But I think this is a very well done picture.
Next honorable mention is Savory Shrimp, Joan Heffler.
Yeah, this is I like this. This showed up as a special time of the year. So I said, okay, barbecue maybe. I like this coconut shrimp. Good. It's good. It's good. It's a nice image. I like that you plated it on wood, you know, and then you sprinkled the seasoning around it and the sauce around it. I think that was done nicely. And then you have the 3 shrimps. The color is good. I mean, I can see things in this. The only thing, I'm not sure what's going on the upper right-hand corner of the board, but and you can't crop it out. I don't know what that is. Maybe it could just be burned, but this I thought was interesting. Nice image, very nice image. And you have the 3s and I don't know what else you could maybe put there. Maybe a piece of a lemon or something. I don't know. But it worked. When I first saw it the first time, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
And our winners in third place, Orange Art, Linda Tomasulo.
Another good image. I like the drops, which I guess is the juice. And the you know, it's nice and close. And then you see some slices underneath. I thought it was a good use of negative space. I think the only thing that I said that I might have wanted to see was maybe just maybe a part of a drop coming from the orange. And I think I might have wanted to see the orange because at one point I thought it was a lemon. Again, I didn't read the title until afterwards, but that was okay. You know, I still like the image and you can see the seeds. This is nice up close and personal. And you kind of muted the tone of the orange. And I think I might have wanted to see more orange, but that might have been your choice to do that. And that's fine. But I think it's a well done picture. I like the fact that you don't have to see the whole orange. It's cut off. And it takes up that whole part of that right-hand side. And then you can see part of the other part of the orange or orange slices on the bottom with the drops of juice on the bottom on it. So I thought that was pretty good. Nice image. I like that.
Right. Second place, Chicken Wraps and Chips, Joan Heffler.
This looks good. I like this. This was, you know, look at the chips. The chips are crisp. You can see that. You get to see everything that's in the wrap. Again, I like the way it's plated. Looks like it's on a wood board. and it looks like something that you would really want to eat, you know. And you see the swirls, everything is just on time with this. So I like that red because it brings out the other colors. You know, she has some of the chips, you have some of the chips shown against the background. You have the wrap, which looks, I thought it was maybe spinach, like a spinach wrap. You see the cheese and everything. It looks really good. Very well done. Very well done. This is staged nicely.
Okay, in first place, Waves of Mushrooms, Alina Kesey.
Very well done. You know, we have that leading line going through. It looks like it's almost like sugar on the edge, on, you know, like that's on a rim. But you know, the way that line goes through the mushroom, and then that you can see all the folds of the mushroom, looks really, really nice. And you feel the frame. You feel the frame. Do I have to know that that's a mushroom? No, no. It could be a nice abstract even, but I just like the way you see everything that's going on with this mushroom. The color is nice. The balance is nice with this image. I just think it's well done. And it's, you know, I wouldn't, and I said, well, maybe she should, you know, should be a sweat. Nope, leave it alone. It's a very nice image. And that would be an image someone would put on their wall in a kitchen or something, because of the color, the way it looks. And it's a kitchen image, but it could be an image of something else too. But I just like the that you can see everything that's going on with this mushroom.
Okay. Congratulations to our winners, all great images. And thank you, Janine.
Thank you. I hope you know, like I said, I did take a lot of time to, you know, go through each image and say, you know, try to say what I liked. And I don't want to just be critical, because you in the end, everything here is personal. It's subjective, I should say subjective. And so it's what you want and what you want to tell in a story. You know, I don't always agree with the judges when they judge my pictures. You know, it's like, well, do I like it? That's the main thing. Do you like it? But there are some things, you know, and you don't always have to follow rules, you know, but in certain things, you know, rules help us. Like, you know, again, with the food, you know, you have like a bullseye, or you use that spiral that's going to lead you into your image. The coloring that you use, and, you know, things like that you look at. What's the lighting like? You know, like the turn up, the lighting was just a little too dark for that. And if you want to really showcase, you know, think about, you know, you have a job to take a picture of a turn up. How do you want to present it to the person that may be paying you to take that picture? You know, what do you want that picture to say? You know, as opposed to just click, take that picture and that's it. You know, so, you know, things like that. Of course, you know, composition is always something. And I use Lightroom, I use Photoshop. It depends on what I'm doing, but I also try, you know, because I do photojournalism. So, you know, sometimes when you do photojournalism, all you can do is crop and maybe turn it into black and white, you know, if you're really trying to tell a story. But that's the thing that you know, I don't care what you're photographing, you want your picture to speak for itself, which is why I don't always look at the title. I did look at the titles once I saw it, but sometimes I just want to get my reaction of what did I think of the picture, you know, initially.
Okay.
Appreciate all the comments, Janine. I think they're very helpful to
Okay.
hear those kinds of things.
Mhm.
And congratulations to all the winners.
Yeah, just
And
keep.
Linda and Joan can't submit next month.
Say again?
Linda and Joan can't submit anymore. They've reached their limit.
Oh, Linda reached her limit months ago, for God's sakes. Yeah, Linda, Joan, I think Kim has reached a limit.
So what does that mean when you reach a limit?
Who's that, Joan asking?
They're kidding.
No,
They're kidding.
we're
Oh,
kidding.
okay, okay.
Joan,
We just-
Joan owes me a beer because I moved her images from the wrong category.
Yeah, I got the hint that when Janine said something that the shrimp showed up in the season, the time of
Oh,
year.
was that yours?
No, that was Jones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
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 And I was
We
like,
made,
well, I thought they were both good images, and I was like, but that's not the topic.
And I thought I took them off I thought I took them out of the category so you wouldn't see them there, but
But once I saw them in the other topic, you told me 24 and 20, and then when I look back, it was 26. Once I saw them in the other category, I had no problems with them. I knew exactly, so that was not a problem.
Joan doesn't like to follow directions.
no.
So that's just, yeah.
Who
She
does?
always colors outside the lines.
That's good.
That's just Joan.
Yeah.
We love her, but we understand her faults.
That's a good thing. No, that's not a fault. That's a good thing.
Linda, good for you. Arg. Oh, that's not a patch. That's all right. That's just Linda.
Does anybody have a question or anything about any of my comments, or did I need to go into something more, or?
Oh, I think you did a good job, Janine.
All right,
Okay.
covered them.
Yeah.
No.
we,
All right.
Next time I'll remember to write down the titles. I have the titles in one spot, but I said, okay, I have the numbers over here and no title. So if there's a next time, because you can see I was writing. This is one topic.
This is not the first time we've had this comment.
we've had this issue. We're rewriting Jana's rewriting the letter.
I played with the wording on the letter to the judge after that happened with you, because you're not the first one. So I'm rewriting the directions to try and make it more clear.
Yeah, because I did want to make sure that I was, being as constructive as possible with my comments. And I'm not trying to knock anybody down. The thing is to practice. Even if you just,
We have thick
shooting in
skin
your
with
house.
photographers.
Well, one of my thoughts for fixing that issue is putting the actual number as it shows up in the website next to the name so that you can see the number, even though it'd be out of order. At least you know what number it was when you were judging them. So.
Well, you know what, for me, if you ever have me back, what I would do instead of putting the number, I'll write, turnip, or mushroom or whatever, I just would write it down and just have that, so I know that you'll like to switch up on things.
Yes, I confuse the judge.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's always a good idea, Sean.
All right, everybody, next week is our general and monochrome. Get your
Okay.
images in by Sunday evening and look forward to that. It'll be our last monthly competition before the
Saturday.
What?
Saturday, not
You
Sunday.
said Sunday.
Oh, Saturday. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Saturday at
my
midnight.
days are all mixed up.
Yeah, I think everybody's are, Sean.
I thought Monday was my payday when it was today. I got all confused why there was no money in my account.
Mm.
So yes, it's our last regular monthly competition before the competition of the year in May.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you again, Janine.
Thank you,
Thank
Janine.
you. Thank you.
See you later.
Everybody
Yeah.
else,
Take care.
Good one. Bye.
Nice
you all
meeting
next
you,
week.
everybody.
take care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.